Hello everyone. Welcome to the third video of our tutorial. We're going to be covering routing today. It's gonna be we're going to be showing two methods of doing routing. We're going to be creating two pages that has links on our page and right here. And then what we're going to be doing is uh, as we click the links, we need it to route to its respective page. So let's get started. We're gonna create a new component. Let's see if we can get rid of this thing in here. So there are two ways of creating components. You can manually create a component. Um, I like to put every component in a single in a separate folder. It makes it easy for me to navigate around the application tree. So you can create manually everything, folders and component, the TS files, the HTML files, and CSS files, or we can use the Angular CLI. So let's try the manual way first, and then we're gonna do the automated way with the second route. So the first one, we're gonna name it for now, page one. It's going to be a folder inside page one. We're going to have a new file called page.component.ts. We also need an HTML file, our template, page.component.html. And also we're going to create page.component.css for our styling. Here we're going to navigate to our TS file. So we need to add the component decorator, which is component. And then as you hit enter, it's going to import component from Angular core, which is a very handy feature. And then we need to specify our selector. Our selector will be app-page for now. And we're going to add a template URL. This template URL will be the URL of our template. So we need to import, it's like importing, linking our template file to this template URL. And our template was page.component.html. We also need to add our style URLs. Remember, it's URLs, it's not only URL. And we're going to be putting inside inside this braces or um, um, whatever you call. It's not a curly brace, but yep, we're going to be putting inside there. So what's going to happen is it's like an array, right? So we're going to be putting like that. We're going to say page.component.css, and we need to export our component class. And I'm going to say class, and then what's the component name? We need to camel case the name of our component, page component. It's not actual camel casing because we're starting with a capital letter, and that's how it should be done. So keep an eye on that. And we also need a constructor. We're going to come later for that and how we can benefit our application. And I hope you guys have some idea of what constructors are. And we're going to actually explain what they are in our later videos. So there it is. We designed our component now. So we need to inject this component to a route file. So we need to create a route file in here. We're going to call app.routing.module routing.module.ts. This file will be where our components will be listed and our routes will be configured. So we need to import that new component that we created, which was page component from page one slash page component. And we also need to create an ng-model decorator in here. That's going to import that. So we need to do this. and then we need two properties here. One is imports, it's an array, and the other one is exports, which is an array too. So what's going to happen is we also need to import routes and router module. I hope you guys don't find this very fast. I'm doing it in a with pace, and I hope you guys follow along. If not, please leave your comments and we can do something about it. But for now, I'm assuming that you guys can keep up with me. So we're importing actually routes. It's not routers. Routes and router module from Angular. Sorry, from Angular router. So now that we imported, we're going to say const routes. We're going to create another new constant, and it's going to be an instance of routes, the one we imported, and that will equal to an array. And inside our array, we're going to put um, an object. Every component will have an object in here that has two properties in it, which one is path. Um, this will be the path of our component. When we have now our page is loaded, if we need to navigate to a certain component or to a certain page, we're gonna have that extension to our URL, right? Page or whatever it is. So that name will go inside here. Will go to the path. Will be assigned to the path property. So now let's say page, and then we need to import. We need to assign the component. Which component needs to be rendered when our URL detects this name? So the component that will be rendered will be page component that we already imported, and then yep, our yeah, there it is. And inside our imports, we're gonna put router module dot for root. It has a for root method inside it. This router module we imported in here. Um, it has a for root method that will take this constant that we created in here. So we're gonna pass routes in there, and then we're gonna export router module. Router module. There it is. We also need to export our class, our route class. Export class. It was up routing module. There it is. So now we need to inject or import this router module, up routing module, to our app.module.ts. In app.module.ts, we need to import all of our components inside declarations. And we need to import, you know, um, things like our routes inside the imports. So now let's import app routing module from app routing module, just right here. And then we're gonna put this in our imports. And also we need to import our new component in here. We didn't do that yet. So it was page component from page one slash page component. So that's done, and we need to put it inside declarations, page component. There it is, saved it. Now our final step will be to put router outlet in our parent component. You guys remember in our previous video we said the app.component.ts is our parent component. So inside the template we need to put router module, router outlet element in there, in which our child components like page 1 will be going through. So everything, if we add a new route, page 2 for example, and page 1, both of them will be rendered through app.component.ts. So only app.component.ts will render first, and once that gets rendered, only inside it will our other components render. So now if we put something our inside our page component, for example, we put title here, and we go to the TS file, and in here we create a title variable, and then assign this is from the page component, page 1 component. Yep, let's save all of our files, navigate to here, and then refresh. It's not showing. Do we have any errors? Okay, let's navigate to page. Yep, there it is. This is from the page 1 component. So what's rendering through here is the text we put in this property, in this variable. So let's go over what we did. What we did is we created a component, and as I told you, I like to put it in a folder just to separate from the rest of the components. We created a component, and then we created a route file, and then we imported our component in that route file, and then also we imported these two routes and router module, and we configured, we created this constant routes property, and then we configured our route inside it, passed path and component in it, and then we exported that router module, and also we put our routes constant inside the for root function that the router module comes with. We've also went to the app.module.ts and imported both of our new component and our new route file, and we put our new component inside declarations and our route file inside imports, and there it is. And also in our parent template, we put the router outlet element in there, and we said this is where our child components will go through to display. So that was successful. We didn't have any errors. Unfortunately, we're not going to do the second route because we don't want to make our videos very long. I'm sorry that I said at the beginning of the video that we're going to be doing 2 pages, but you can you can rewatch or replay this video and learn from this first example. I hope you guys enjoy watching this video. Please subscribe and share, and thank you.